Welcome to the March 10th, 2026 Knox County Board of Commissioners meeting. This morning we'll start off with an update from our Knox County IT department. I'll let you introduce yourself and you can go from there.
All right. Yeah, I'm Trevor. I'm the CIO for Knox County. In March, we had a little less ticket volume than we did previous. We were down to 264 tickets between the city and the county, so a little less crazy than I was referring to last month. We've had some major project updates going. We finally got the city moved down to their new municipal building. So we did that on February 21st, got a lot of their administrative staff moved over. And then the technicians and I moved all their servers down this past weekend. So we have all their equipment out of our server room now and everything's fully relocated.
And that was, so commissioners, that's been something we wanted to do for a while. The city didn't have room at their current building for the servers. So we've been housing those here, which we didn't particularly love because it's not our equipment.
Right.
But they have now been located there and they're not in our control anymore.
They didn't have a purpose-built room for it. They just had like a little closet. So now they have a proper data center with, the air conditioning and all that stuff. So it's ready to go.
Does that make it easier for you?
Yeah, well, it's less to monitor, especially with the environmental things, just less things to worry about.
And I think Trevor, I guess, thanks to Trevor and his team, that there was a little bit of a mix up with the city. They thought they had told Trevor and his team when they wanted to go down there, but they didn't.
Got dropped
it was
on
kind
us.
of like, we need to be down there in 3 days. And so
But we
Trevor and the team jumped through some hoops and got some equipment and got them in down there by the deadline that they needed. So
Yeah.
Good job.
There's a lot of scrambling and a lot of, hey, did you get this person? But we're getting them all taken care of. They're still incrementally moving some departments. They're doing some building renovations. So as each section becomes available, then we move them in there. The title office project is moving along nicely. We have the internet installed, so we're getting ready to bring them under our wing. We're just waiting for the individual phones to come in. Then we'll be able to get the extensions transferred and the phone numbers transferred. That'll be done. Be nice for the users because they'll be able to direct dial extensions out there rather than have hit an outside line and all that. So
right now you gotta call the outside line.
You gotta call their direct number. So just a little convenience upgrade.
that's a jail.
That's for the title office.
We've never been able to get that at the sheriff's office though, right? Where we can dial by extension.
The direct dial is we have the systems, they're integrated, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. We're still working with the vendor to figure out why it breaks down occasionally.
Because I know that's always kind of a pain too,
have to dial the external
10 digits.
We're hoping to iron that out at the same time with without getting too technical. We'll mix the two of them together.
Do you think that when we would go down to the new, not we literally, but when we have the new transit building, would transit be able to be dialed by extension or will they?
Yes.
Because they're not now, right?
That's one of the things we have on the IT roadmap is to replace their firewall. And I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But once we replace their firewall, it'll allow us to integrate their system with ours more seamlessly. So logically, the phone system will think that the CAT building and these other satellite offices are here. So they'll just be all tied in.
And
we're all done.
Todd and I probably need to get you down there to that building at some point. I know we had Kyle down there where we're talking about putting the county conference center, conference room to let you kind of lay eyes on that. Because in the plans is basically them to wire, but we'll take, your team will take it from there to
we'll do all the
with the televisions and the audio visual and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we're a ways off from that, but I want you to kind of plan, so you're aware that that'll be a pretty big project.
Yep. Yeah, the sooner we can get IT in for projects, we'll get thinking about it. some parts and stuff that we might need to get ordered. We're wrapping up the cloud-based phone system for 911. Basically just adds a layer of resiliency and portability for 911 services. It'll allow them to take and dispatch calls anywhere essentially that they have a cell phone setting. So we're about done with that project. The Board of Elections is interested in standing up a new voter registration application. So that has triggered their server replacement cycle. So we're getting quotes going for that and product demos, just getting the planning phase of that project completed. Moving on to infrastructure improvements, the county has purchased our new firewall. We, Jared and I went through a lot of product demos and read lots of white papers and did lots of research to determine which was going to be the most secure system for the county and then, cost effective as well. So we decided to purchase a Ubiquity firewall and that's already in and we're hoping to get it in by the end of this month. We've also installed, over the past weekend, we installed the battery backups I mentioned last month. So those sit in what we call intermittent distribution facilities, the wiring closet. So if there's ever a power blip or a power sag, it helps to protect all of our network equipment, our phone system, just from any kind of irregularities. And then we recycled 400 pounds of electronics last weekend. It was a bunch of old server chassis and piles of cables.
Are they just laying around somewhere?
We just had a hoarding problem, and just never got rid of stuff. So we finally had a little spring cleaning, and I think the guys enjoyed taking all the hard drives out.
You can probably move around there.
Yeah,
now.
we can. We have so much room for activities.
Not hoarding, it's planning for the future.
Right. So along that line, we also developed an SOP for equipment disposal. We had a policy that we were able to furnish if requested. What do you do with your hard drives and data afterwards? But we developed an actual operating procedure for the guys to follow, just to make sure that we don't have any data leaks or anything like that, and make sure all the hard drives and anything that could hold data is fully sanitized before it leaves the building. Couple of other support projects coming up. Village of Gambier, they're doing basically an entire building refresh. They're getting a new firewall, network switch, and all new computers. So we've secured the hardware for that, and we're just getting ready to set it up, and we'll be scheduling that this month. Couple of new things in the animal shelter. They have some new digital signage that we completed. Nothing really else worth mentioning on here.
So help me out here, Trevor.
Sure.
With the way of the world right now, have you had to strengthen your cybersecurity?
We haven't changed our posture at all. We're just be more vigilant.
Okay.
We use features called geo-blocking so that we can basically just block off whole sections of the globe and say we're not accepting any connections from this part of the world where lots of threat actors originate from. So, we operate on a zero trust model. So we assume that everything is dangerous and only let things one at a time. Yep.
Because we probably don't need
Sure.
very much activity from overseas.
Correct.
Right?
That's right.
Moving down the ladder, what about the township trustees? Do we know if they're even protected by any cyber security or anything like that?
We don't do any IT support for the townships.
Right. So that's something maybe that could be an alarming event, couldn't it? I mean,
What type of scenario?
Well, if they get hacked, I mean, they have a lot of data in
Oh,
their
yeah.
system.
They,
hopefully
I would
they have a
assume
managed
contract
service
with
provider.
somebody. Yeah.
They probably have an MSP.
I think I'll check. That's all I got, Trevor. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Trevor, a couple things.
Sure.
Just keep on your radar. 911, we're looking at potentially adding a couple more stations down there
Okay,
for overflow and then also training.
got
So Laura's getting quotes from Bazoo and from the furniture or that, the place that set up
Yeah.
the stations.
Yeah.
So we're waiting some final numbers. So
it. Okay.
I don't, then we'll let you know how all that fits in.
We supported the initial one. That was a couple week project.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
And then I think Thursday, the commissioners are gonna have a contract from Public Health. Zach had reached out about having basically kind of an emergency IT kind of contract in place with their staff. They've got one or two IT people,
Right.
but if they would be out and something happened, that they can rely on us for at least basically handling something that's,
Consultation, yeah.
yeah, consultation, or if they were, the only person there was gone and something happened.
Okay.
So we basically just patterned the existing contracts we had and worked with Chip and
Okay.
got that. So it's
That
not
makes
gonna be
sense.
an ongoing
Yeah.
deal, but if we have those, then we'll charge and Mallory will bill back just like we do the rest of the
Good deal.
contracts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, okay.
How you liking the new role?
I like it.
Okay,
It's good. Yeah, we're getting all transitioned. Everyone's kind of shuffling around and figuring where they fit in. So
And then we
busy,
take from you.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
we appreciate it, Tim.
Yes.
good deal. All right.
You have a
Thank
great
you, guys.
day.
Jason, oh,
Yeah, so we've got a little bit of time for the senior living coming in, so we'll go through these. Approve a quote from Mid-States for community development block grant, and this is for the village of Danville Park and Rex playground equipment. This is all coming through that grant through CDBG Office of Community Development. And it's for $47,623.
Motion to approve.
second, all those in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Where there'll be three areas you have to initial and then one area you have to sign
Okay.
on that. Then authorize participation in the Ohio Local Agricultural Easement Purchase Program. And this comes through the Owl Creek Conservancy. And this is a normal thing that we do on behalf of Blaine and Caleb Dow. This is their 2026 applicants for the local agricultural easement purchase program for the purchase of an agricultural easements. So, and this is in Brown Township. So this is us approving the application that was submitted by that homeowner to the Owl Creek Conservancy.
Motion to approve.
Second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Nothing to sign on that one, I don't think. You just put it down there, we'll just submit. Okay. And then we have speaking of IT contracts, we have a renewal of the independent contractor agreement for IT services with the Village of Fredericktown. This is for 1 year, and it's just an update to the existing contract.
Motion to approve.
Second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then we also have another independent contractor agreement for IT services with Fredericktown Community Joint Ambulance District, AKA Fredericktown EMS. And this is again a renewal of the existing contract.
Motion to approve.
Second, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then we've got some bills, minutes, a couple things though, just some items to enter into the record today. We have the treasurer's deposit income for the including Star Bank. And so the monthly revenue was $168,626.66. And that was for the month of February. So we're entering that into the record. And then we also are in receipt of a type 2 annexation request of 56.618 acres from Hilliard Township to the village of Centerburg. And when the village administrator was in last week, Rick Zecke mentioned that this was coming from council. And so this is the packet between Hilliard Township and the village. And all we're doing today is entering into the record and let the clock get started. So we'll kind of take it from there, and Mallory and Penny will work on that as far as what the process is. And we'll go from there, but that's that we have received that. We also had a request from the auditor's office. There was a vendor that was requesting a repeal of a fine that was given for, or a fee that was given for delinquency, hotel, motel, bed tax. And apparently it was missed and 1 month of revenue wasn't paid. They have made restitution, paid that, and they're asking to waive the $16.83 late charge. And so if you're inclined to do that, I'll let the auditor's office know that you would approve that. So,
We need a motion.
yeah.
Motion to approve it.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Then Mallory, if you'll just do a little resolution, we'll send that back to the auditor's office that it was approved. There's the bill list for today.
I think, they're probably, they can come in early if we want to. I think.
They're
Are
in the
they
chat.
here?
Yeah, they're here.
I'll go get them.
You know, they get old. Like that.
Can't do that now.
Okay.
That's why you're trying to.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Hello, gentlemen, how are you? And lady.
Let's get her. See.
Yeah. You want us on this back road?
No, you can see right up here. We can, that's where just the old chair.
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
I'll squeeze over this way so that way you can still make eye. Be missing one. You seem to be missing one.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You're missing two, aren't you?
Yeah. We were taking care of our seniors.
Oh, yeah.
You guys look like nobody came out of scratches or black eyes.
No.
No, no, everybody agreed.
Hey, Jason.
Mayor, we do need, Cheryl's coming at 10:30,
Okay.
so we'll hold till 10:30.
Welcome back to the Board of Commissioners meeting. Today we have the representatives of the Senior Levy Committee for review and recommendations for funding. Dan, I'll turn this over to you.
Okay. First of all, we're glad to be able to serve the county in this capacity. Just go through and introduce yourselves as we go down the line.
I'm Denny Dugan.
Don York.
David Bouchard.
Deborah Mack.
Steve Thompson.
And so three of us are new on the board and three returnees, and we're appreciate the insight that they brought to the committee.
Dan, for knowledge, do these committee members represent certain areas of the county, or are they just members? So people have some clarity there.
I know Bill has worked real hard in trying to get representatives from across the county. We're probably more, well, we got Bladensburg represented, we've got Fredericktown represented, we got Mount Vernon represented. That's pretty much it, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, so it is across the county to some extent.
Right.
But one of the things we did was to receive the applications. We had a meeting back in October, I think. Anyone interested in applying, they could come to the meeting and we give them some instructions on what the expectations were. They could ask questions, and then they had plenty of time to turn in their applications. I think they were due January 30th, I believe. And so primarily, we got the applications and spent a good 2-3 weeks individually just going through the applications and trying to get our heads around what the application was saying, what the needs were. And then we made site visits. So not everybody made every site visit, but we had at least 2 or 3 at every site. And we got to see a lot of what was actually going on. And we have to say that we're very impressed with, for the most part. Yeah, it was outstanding. Socialization is a big thing. And we saw that in Centerburg, Fredericktown, Station Break. That was big. Bladensburg, oh yes, forgot about Bladensburg, yes. So we saw a lot of that. Station Break, of course, has a Meals on Wheels program, which is covers the entire county. But Centerburg also has a Meals on Wheels program that covers the 3 townships in that area. And then Danville also has an outstanding Meals on Wheels. And the big thing about the Meals on Wheels is, yeah, the food is one thing, but that wellness check, just stopping in, making acquaintance with the people, that was very much appreciated by the recipients of the food. And in all those cases, they paid, the individual paid for those services. So it was, I mean, minimal. What, $3? $5 maybe at the most. I think, yeah. So we just saw a lot of good things happening, and I think this levy is certainly serves a purpose. No question about that. But the requests were for $1.2 million, and the levy produces about $1.1 million. Now, I should say that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's $125,000 is for
Adult Protective Services.
There you go.
And that goes off the top. So the 1.1 that's left is for
Right.
all of this senior levy
Right.
funding.
So we had to make some adjustments in our suggestions to the commissioners. So we had to cut out about $100,000. And so we came up with our recommendations. And again, these are strictly our recommendations to the commissioners. It's your decision to do what you want to do. But in the sheet in front of you there, we've got what we call alternative 1, and that's the one we're going to go with. For the TV, do we need to go through and
Yeah.
in that?
Please.
Okay. So Station Break, we're going to be allocating $580,000. Centerburg Social Services, $215. Sanctuary,
$215,000.
excuse me, $215,000.
They'll be calling you before you get out of there.
Did you get that, Commissioner? Sanctuary Social Services out of Danville, 80,000. Center of Hope out of Bladensburg, 30,000. Fredericktown Senior Activity Center, SAC, 81,500. Knox Health Planning, 70,000. And I should point out there on the Knox Health Planning, what that is that's actually hiring a nurse to go into the homes of senior citizens. And they do wellness checks, they do, if there's any handicap equipment that's needed, they'll provide that. So they do an outstanding job that we saw of just meeting the needs of people in the home. And again, a lot of what we're trying to see, or what we saw, was community services in particular. They were trying to keep the citizen in the home as long as possible. So we saw that, we appreciated that. Task Force for Older Adults, 20,000. And again, what that's for is primarily the farmers markets that occur in Mount Vernon as well as Fredericktown. And a senior citizen can get some tokens, and those tokens can be spent with the various vendors at the market. And then the vendors are reimbursed for that.
It'll be 15,000, right, Dan? Not 20.
You're correct,
Okay.
15,000, thank you. Thank you. YMCA, $10,000. And they do a lot for seniors at the Y. Bladensburg Community Center, we went 35,000 there. They're doing a lot down there, socialization among the citizens, and we just saw a lot of good things happening there. So that totals up to $1,116,500. Any questions from the commissioners?
No, thank you.
It looks like you're doing a great job. We appreciate it very much. Thanks for taking care of our seniors.
That's a lot of work for you guys to, I know you're here a lot.
Yes.
I'm doing this, so.
It's a lot right there.
I want to thank you for all your hard work, by the way. And volunteer work. I know everybody is busy, but thank you so much for being involved, taking your time, go and visit these places. Like you said earlier, your job is to vet and recommend to us so that we don't have to do this, and that sure takes a load off the commissioner's shoulders, so it's greatly appreciated.
Yes, we do.
If you don't mind, I would say I appreciate the opportunity. It was an eye opener for me.
Yeah.
To all of the agencies that are out there to evaluate. Also appreciate Bill Purcell for opening my eyes to this. Who he is online watching us this area.
Prayers are with you, Bill.
So
Yeah, Bill was very, very instrumental in this process, that's for sure.
yeah.
He's
So-
a hands-on commissioner with the senior levies.
So this was a great opportunity to work with this team.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Anybody else?
It's been a great pleasure to serve. This is our fourth year. So, like you said, we've got some really, really good organizations. And they do a lot of work for the community, So the only thing is like Danville, you talk about a well-run program. Barb Mickley does an excellent. And all the 4 years, no other place has ever asked for less money than they got the year before. And Barb does.
Yeah, she'll only ask for exactly what she needs. So if she asks for a little more, you usually know she needs a little more. Yeah.
But that's like on this, I asked her down there the other day, it's Barb, you asked for only for 80,000 this year. That's all I need. You appreciate that.
So for clarity, you get more people who apply for this than just this group was on the page? Or is this the same?
Same.
I know for me, I moved to Mount Vernon about 5 years ago from Portsmouth. And to see some of these agencies, and one of the reasons I came on the board was so that I could see what was going on in the community. And it is very impressive. And for me, I think the most impressive are the ones who go out and actually are dealing with the senior adults in their home. And the things that they've seen and being able to bring family together if there's an illness or a problem, or bring in emergency services. And otherwise the people would just be in their home with major problems, had the people not come in to provide them that kind of service.
Yeah.
That's great, compassion and caring, right?
And those have always been kind of the three, I guess, pillars of the levy was food insecurities, socialization, but also keeping seniors in their home. Those were the three key components of, I think, why the levy was started many years ago. And now we've added that layer of adult protective services, and they were in, was it last week or the week before, and it's unfortunately kind of staggering at the volume of calls that they're handling at Area Agency on Aging from exploitation of seniors and those kinds of things. So that money's being well spent too. I can assure you with the volume that they're seeing.
They had made a comment which kind of struck me in the heart the last time they were in. That a lot of seniors fall for the scams just because they're get to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
They don't care. Yeah, socialization. And they fall for the scam just because they're talking to somebody, which is very sad in my eyes.
Yes. And that exploitation has become the number one in the state.
Yeah.
Used to be neglect, or they didn't have food and things, but now it's exploitation.
The other thing we saw too was the community support of the senior citizens centers. They would have activities and the food would be brought in by a nursing home or a hospital, or some organization would provide it. We saw in Cinnaburg in particular, they would have activities and the community would just surround them with support. We just saw that Danville, we saw that Bladensburg, we saw that in a variety of places. So it's really helpful to see the community support of the seniors.
And that boils down to all the little things that you don't even think about. That when we were out at Centerburg, one of the local car repair shops came in, spoke to the seniors and asked everybody if anybody had a problem. They go once a week now and check all their tire pressure in their cars while they're out in the parking lot, while they're inside playing bingo, euchre, having lunch or whatever. No charge for anything like that. So it was, when she started telling us about that, it was like, that is community involvement.
It is.
Yeah.
It was really, really neat to see something we take it for granted to bend over, to put air in the tire, check it, which they can't do.
Right.
Did any of these organizations bring up concerns, obviously, with the potential pending elimination of property tax? This levy would go away and all of this funding would go away. Was that brought up about how they would fill voids or what they would do in the community if they were?
Those are some, there was some of the questions that we asked, and they would end up doing away with some services, other services, they would find a way to see that it happened. Because they see the importance of that. And I think probably the Meals on Wheels was probably one of the things that they saw needed to continue, definitely. However, they're going to get funding, but they wanted to see that happen. Partly again, because of the wellness checks that those drivers make to the homeowners.
Because that's a big number for Station Break to fill,
Yeah,
$500.
$500,000, almost 600,000.
Yeah.
Just to maintain that fleet of vehicles to get out
Yeah,
is quite expensive.
Yeah. I actually saw their menu not long ago. It wasn't bad.
Oh,
I mean,
Well, you're hungry, right?
careful. We're live here.
You ought to see Danville's menu.
Yeah.
That was really impressive.
Was it?
It was.
Yes.
Yesterday, she made homemade pizza.
Oh.
Yeah,
From scratch.
Yeah.
No Chef Boyardee mix or anything like that. Everything is from scratch.
How many
All the
people do they
meals.
feed down there?
Well, she said, I think about 35 or so on an average in the winter because the people were gone, but upwards of 50 to 60 in the summer.
and it's interesting there, they have 16 drivers. And so they work, I think, 1 day a week. And a lot of times it's husband and wives.
Mhm.
And there's one couple, he's 90 years old and she's 86.
Oh, exactly.
And they just love doing that.
That they're delivering the meals.
Yes.
So that's keeping them young and active
Exactly.
too.
Wow.
Giving, you receive, you really do.
All the drivers are senior citizens.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that's purpose and
I
that's
qualify for that.
socialization. Great. That's
You're
wonderful.
looking for me,
Anybody else got anything?
Thank you so
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Very appreciative.
Thank you, Don.
So commissioners, we'll put this on the agenda for probably Thursday for you to take action and so we can get contracts out to everyone in the board.
You know, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Dan.
Good to see you.
See you. Good to see you. Thank you, sir.
Just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, from you.
Okay.
Danny Fisher.
Yes, thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Stu.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
See you later, kids. Steve, good to see you. Dennis.
too, Barry.
Thank you.
Yep, see you later.
Jake, you have anything else?
No, sir, that's all I have for you.
Brenda, do you have anything?
I do not.
I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We stand adjourned.